been a little while since I've seen you. Hi, hello. I hope you are doing well, and I hope that 2026 is off to a good start for you. My sons were here for a total of 4 weeks in the end. They were originally only going to be here for just over 2 weeks, and they very quickly extended their stay. And then some weird weather events meant that flights were delayed. And yeah, it ended up being 4 full weeks that they were here with me, which was awesome. I'm just settling back into normal life again. It's been a really good 4 weeks. So I have gained some weight, and I have some thoughts on it. I know why I've gained weight, so I'm not like surprised. If anything, I'm kind of surprised that it's not more than it is. But yeah, so my sons have been staying with me over the Christmas period. So anyway, 4 weeks. It was awesome. But we ate out a lot more than I normally would. And a lot of that was because like we went and did some touristy things and saw some sights and whatnot. And we were just out all day. Also, my sons were really enjoying exploring Too Good To Go. And we found like a particular place that I had actually been to previously. And I just got like 3 small items from them. And when my sons went to this place and they went in together, just the 2 of them, they spent the same amount of money that I had spent on the Too Good To Go surprise bag. But I'm guessing because they were 2 tall men that they were just very generous with them and gave them a lot of food in their surprise bag, which I'm not complaining about. I, as a single person at the time, did not need a lot of food in my surprise bag. Because my sons were not staying with me at the time, so I didn't need more than 3 items. So that is absolutely fine. But once they discovered that the people at this restaurant were very generous with them when they got a Too Good To Go bag, they went back several times. And so I was just eating a lot of food that I wouldn't normally be eating. Also, before my sons came to visit, I probably wasn't eating enough because I was trying to keep my grocery budget really, really low, like $25 to $30 some weeks. So I probably wasn't eating enough food before they came to visit, which is, you know, like a recipe for gaining weight when you're under eating a little bit and then you start overeating a little bit. And also when there are 3 people to buy groceries for and you're splitting the cost 3 ways, you can just buy more food. Yeah, so even like normal meals, I was able to eat more and a wider variety of foods I hadn't been eating for a while. So that has been really nice, but it has meant that I've been eating more. Yeah, so that's what's happened. Also, I find when I increase my exercise, I then get like really, really hungry, which is fine whilst I'm doing the additional exercise. But then if I stop doing the exercise, like my stomach is stretched or I have become used to eating more food, and then I'll keep eating more food even though I'm not doing the extra exercise. So we went on lots of like hiking trails and visited places where there was just lots of walking. So I was doing like extra exercise that I wouldn't normally do, like more strenuous hikes and that kind of thing, which then increased my appetite. And then yeah, so it's absolutely fine. It's not a big deal. It's just that for the first time in my life, me gaining weight is my own business. Like, it's not anybody else's business. I don't have to take anybody else's opinions of that on board. I don't need to be guilt tripped about it because, like, it's just me. Like, it's just, like, it's my body, you know? It's just my body. So that's a new experience. Like, because we learn patterns of thinking and behavior, and we still hear voices from the past in our own heads, I'm having to break that, you know, because like nobody's actually going to say those words to me now. Like, that's all in the past. So I'm just trying to become more level-headed about it. But I am 41 and I will be 42 in a few months. And my mother had blockages in her heart, and she had like heart surgery and stents put in her 40s. So I am well aware that I have like a genetic predisposition to heart disease and that kind of thing. Now, my mother was probably in the obese category at my age. So in terms of gaining weight recently, like, I'm not really that concerned about it, but I don't want this to become me slipping into unhealthy lifestyle choices that will lead to health problems. Because honestly, I feel like I haven't had the opportunity to really live, and I finally have an opportunity to maybe live a fulfilling and happy life, and I don't want that to be cut short now because my health starts to decline, if that makes sense. I'm already concerned that I have lived under constant stress for so long that I don't know how I couldn't have like something like cancer brewing. I have no symptoms of anything, don't worry, but I feel like it was a recipe for disaster. Like, the constant stress that I was under, and the constant like suppression of all emotion, because it wasn't okay for me to have any emotion. I have had to suppress so much for so long, and I've been on high alert. The hypervigilance has been like out of this world for my entire adult life, pretty much. So I don't know how somebody's body can go through that over decades and come out the other side and not like have health problems. So I don't know, I'm like scared already that that's going to happen. So I don't want to contribute more to it by eating poorly now or gaining a whole lot of weight and putting more strain on my body. I am running out of light, so I will chat more with you in a minute. Both of my sons gave me chocolate for Christmas because they know how much I love chocolate. Yeah, I haven't been able to afford chocolate in a while, so it's a bit of a luxury. I'm going to make some cookies and use a block of my chocolate, I'm thinking. Yes, I know it sounds counterintuitive to make choc chip cookies when I'm trying to get my eating back on track. But really, I'm just trying to get rid of a few things so that the temptation is not there anymore. Okay, so I have gathered my ingredients. Grab a bowl, 260 grams of rolled oats, 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, or 218.75 grams. That seems very specific. I think it's going to be fine with 220 grams. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That was 1 teaspoon of bicarb soda and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Yeah. Okay, that looks like approximately a full cup. Adding the brown sugar. I think this recipe is going to use up all of my sugar that I have left, which is good. That is the plan. But hopefully I have enough for the recipe. If not, that's okay. It can just be a little low on sugar. Okay, so that's 7. Okay, so I have a little bit of sugar left. Add in the vanilla. It's 1 tablespoon, which is about 3 teaspoons, which is about 3 cupfuls in my guesstimate. 2 eggs. Okay, I'm going to add in the dry ingredients. I normally don't use a mixer to make cookies, but I usually use olive oil as the fat. So olive oil is obviously a lot easier to hand mix than butter or margarine. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm making such a mess today. I'm overthinking things because I haven't filmed in a little while, so bear with me. So this gas oven, I've for a long time suspected that the temperature on the settings is just a suggestion, and what it suggests is merely that, you know, 140 degrees is a little bit hotter than 120 degrees, and so on and so forth. What did you just want to push? So I always assumed that the oven setting is about 20 degrees less than it says. My rich fruitcake, it turned out fine, but it didn't rise as much as it normally would. I'm not the biggest fan of the flavor of margarine. And because there's so much margarine in this, it is like one of the main flavors. So I probably wouldn't make them with margarine again. Which means I would need an entirely different recipe, because that's like what it is. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I like them. I think if you made them with butter, they would be really good. So this gas oven, I'm pretty sure that the temperature is just completely meaningless, to be honest. My rich fruitcake, it turned out fine. It was delicious. Then I made, over the course of several weeks, 3 Pavlovas, and they all pretty much flopped. And I'm pretty sure that it's not me, because I have made Pavlovas before. I'm pretty sure that it was the oven temperature. The first one I made was a complete flop, and I didn't even attempt to put cream and fruit on top of that one. The second one was a little bit better, because I adjusted the temperature and tried again. Yeah, so we had that one for Christmas. Then one of my son's birthdays is not too long after Christmas, so he asked for another Pavlova for his birthday cake. I made my 3rd attempt, and I will say the 3rd attempt was better than the previous 2. It was still a bit of a flop. And so when I opened the oven after it had completely cooled, like you're meant to do, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I ran out to the shops and I bought a pre-made Pavlova shell, thinking that, you know, I didn't have a birthday cake. As it turns out, it was okay. We probably could have made do with the one that I'd baked, but I put cream and fruit on both of them. And we just had lots and lots of pavlova over the next few days. I don't know about you, but I personally prefer pavlova the next day. So the oven is an interesting oven. I'm just grateful to have an oven. Some of you may know that I lived off-grid on a property for many years, and our oven was a cast iron pot in the fire, which is very delicious, but a lot more work than an oven that you just turn on and you can walk away from. So in 2022, the last Christmas where the whole family was together, I baked a rich fruit cake in my big cast iron pot in the fire, and it actually turned out fine, which I was surprised. Yeah. Do you want to jump up? Alright, I'm going to ignore you, and then hopefully you'll climb up. You can act like I don't want you to sit on my lap. What are your plans for 2026? Anything new and exciting? Or just staying the course with whatever was working for you in 2025? I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.